Hello, welcome to my channel, The Ascension Guide. I'm your guide, Joe Martin. So today's message from Ariah, I'm pretty excited to share with you guys. This is kind of an answering of a lot of questions that I know a lot of people have, including myself. So it's very cool to be able to share this message with you today. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what's life, what's the purpose of life, what's the meaning of life, Earth School, and what is the soul and what's the soul's purpose. So definitely want to stick around and hear everything that they had to say about this today. So um, thanks everybody for tuning in. So first, Earth School. What is our life purpose? So Earth is essentially a giant evolutionary school for your soul. This is where the experiment of life in the way that we know it has been brought upon. So we have the veil of ignorance, obviously, that people know about. Maybe you don't. Veil of ignorance is essentially where when we incarnate on Earth, our soul forgets everything that we knew. That's the veil. And essentially, our whole purpose on Earth is to remember everything that we forgot through an evolutionary process. So, before we incarnate, we, our soul group, our soul family, we get together. I don't know how many beings this is. I don't know how many souls this is. I couldn't tell you all the details of it. But essentially, we get together and we decide what roles we're going to play in this life movie, on Earth. And we all decide what lessons that we want to learn and how each of those roles are going to interact with one another to create those lessons and create this Earth that, or this incarnation, so that we can learn the lessons that we're supposed to or want to further evolve our soul on this evolutionary process. So I know that a lot of people question how an all-loving God or this or that could have childhood cancer or insert whatever other terrible thing that happens on this planet. But if you were looking at it from a zoomed out perspective and you were saying consciousness wants to express itself in all the possible different ways that it can to experience all the different possibilities that could happen on this plane, this realm, this universe, then things make a little bit more sense, right? Especially knowing that you as a soul choose what you incarnate to do. So, for example, you will set up a number of different lessons to be learned and perhaps goals that you want to achieve or attain throughout your lifetime. Each of those lessons can be learned in probably an infinite number of ways. If you don't learn it this way, you'll learn it this way, or perhaps this way, or maybe you'll never learn it, and that'll be part of your karma when you die and you have to go back and do your soul review and see if you learned all the lessons that you were supposed to. And if you didn't, then you reincarnate to learn the same lessons. So it's a little easier to process when you look at it that way. Is you determined, that soul that came in to get childhood cancer or to have this terrible thing happen did it so that somebody else could learn a lesson. And truth be told, a lot of times these are beings who have evolved to the later dimensions. There's, as far as I've been told, there's 13 dimensions, the 13th dimension being the creator level, and then once you advance through that, then you can go and create your own universe, whatever. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but anyway, the beings that come in are usually in the 12th dimension or higher dimensions, that come in specifically to teach other people lessons. So they know what they're doing. They have already learned their lessons. They are incarnating specifically for the reason to teach somebody else a lesson that they need to learn. So when you understand that, it makes things a little bit easier to process, I think. When you understand that there is a bigger goal in mind than what you're seeing at that time, when you're focused on the sorrow or that accident or that thing that happened to somebody very close to you. If you take that zoomed out view of yourself as the creator of this whole situation, and you're saying, what were you trying to teach yourself? What was the lesson to be learned through that painful situation? And I think that, yeah, that just makes things a little bit easier to process and to comprehend when you know that. So, now that I jumped ahead to the different dimensions, essentially what we're doing as a soul is we're progressing through from the first dimension to the 13th dimension. Our objective is to evolve, as I said before, into the creator, and then to go and create our own universe with our own set of rules to learn our own evolutionary information. As we go through, it's not necessarily a linear type of thing where it's like 1 and then 13, and you go through each one and then you're there. There's beings that have incarnated, from the 12th dimension that come here on Earth to incarnate to, for specific missions or whatever. Different karmic reasons, different lessons to, like I was just talking about, to help other people. So it's not just third dimensional beings that are on, well, there's other dimensions here too, but it's not just third dimensional souls that incarnate on Earth. There's multiple different incarnations by different beings and different, dimensions for different purposes. And, when we asked what, how would you describe the soul? And we asked Ariah that question, and he said, probably the coolest answer, limitless potential energy. So our soul is limitless potential energy. We are learning to become limitless, essentially. We are learning to become the creator, to create our own universe with its own set of rules, which means that anything is possible at any time. So understand what you are, what you're here to do, and how this all plays together in this evolutionary process. So as a soul, you're trying to evolve through all the different dimensions, learn all the different lessons that you can from all those different aspects of those dimensions. And, on Earth, on a more humanly, side of that, it's kind of the same thing, but it's more intense. It's more, you're going here to learn that's what, Earth, it's called Earth School. You're coming here to learn a ton of lessons. You're coming here to get the most intense, vivid lessons that you could possibly get in the universe. So you chose to incarnate here for a reason. So if your life sucks and you hate it, what lessons were you trying to teach yourself? Think about it that way. What were you putting yourself through this for? And when we, do a little introspection, we find that a lot of us, especially, starseeds, light workers, whatever you want to call people who are doing this work, a lot of us has been through a lot, and it's for a reason. And when you go back and you look at how much stronger you came out on the other end and the lessons that you learned through those experiences, and now how you can go and help others through those experiences and through the lessons that you learn, it starts to make a little bit more sense. It starts to make you understand why you put yourself through those things so that you could come out on the other end a stronger, better soul with a better understanding of what's happening and how to help others. So I hope this resonates with you guys. If not, take it or leave it. It is what it is. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe. Helps me know that the message resonates with you and helps other people get the message as well. So thanks again. Until the next time, love and light.